um, application running in execute environment, but actually component is only one part of application, and in one application you have many components, and if you develop component with a lot of error, with many error, so your application will be broken, right? So I thought, please, let's see small application and be careful, develops component exactly like one small application. The next principle is we have to see component as hardware device or black box. Do you know hardware device? Hardware device like camera, like radio, like air condition. Just you can see the hardware device from outside. I mean you just only see button. Each button have this function, maximum or minimum or a lot of function. So you don't need to see inside. You don't need to see inside hardware device, right? You don't need to know what is inside. You just know the outside function. I want to put this button. I want to push this button, and I want to put this button for what function. So when you develop component, you remember that component as hardware device and black box. The user don't need to know inside. They just know what do you give me, how to use this. I don't care you inside. You what you did inside. Just give me the output and input. What input, what output. That's all. Okay. This is the next principle. After you consider component already, and you see component like a small application or just black box or hardware device. So how can we do it, right? You want to know how can you do it. That's I talk principle of how to implement. So you can do a lot of things to make the flat component, but I think almost nowadays they use some method to implement. The first is OOP. OOP means object-oriented programming. Actually, Adobe, when they do flat component, they also follow OOP methodology. OOP is popular, common, and best programming methodology until now. So I recommend you use OOP because component mean is just a small object inside an application. So it's meaning OOP already. So you have to follow OOP. OOP means each application mapped by object. Actually, component mapped by a lot of object. So you know already OOP concept including class object, inherent, multi-inherent, polymorphism, and backcase. So I say more detail in OOP. I just told you how to map flat component by OOP. So could you please see my example like this? For example, I want to build a house. Right? So this house is including some kind of object. The first is window, right? Window. The second is the door, the ceiling. For example, each element we can call it is object, and we compile this object, and this object to map the whole application, So that is OOP concept. As my personal experience, you have to map each object first. I have to map window first. I have to map the door first, and then I just compile again, and then I map the house. So now apply to Flex components. You also do similar. You have to build a small application, a small component, and you compile it into one system. So that system is component. Actually, component is made by a lot of small objects. That is very important concept, and then you can use OOP to develop Flex component. Okay, this is very important experience. This method to implement Flex is event oriented. What is event oriented, and why is important to you? Event oriented, you know already. When the people take the action to component, and it happened some event. For example, I click to button, and button will restart event. Mouse click, okay. And for example, we mouse over, mouse down or something. So when you have action, so this component will restart event. And the component, another component or another function will catch this event, and they process this event. For example, I push this button, and the button will restart the event like mouse click, and you catch mouse click event, and you do a lot of operation you want. So that is event oriented. The second I want to say is why it is important, right? Why it is important? You remember in OOP concept, loser relationship, fewer error. The mean is, if I don't have a relationship with you, if I have a loose relationship with you, so there's no error, no confliction between me and you, right? I don't have a relationship with you. I stay in my house, you stay in your house. We don't talk anything, so we don't have confliction. The mean loser relationship, fewer error. So when component A, when we take action to component A, and component A will restart event, and component A just transfer what kind of event, what is status of event, and what is data of event. So the component B just receive that event, and they use the data or status to handle the logic, business logic. So and the component B don't know component A and have no relationship with component A, right? They have no relationship. Then when they process the data here, so they don't effect to component A, and this is the loser relationship, and no error between component A and B, right? That is very important, and you can see a lot of example in Flex Adobe component. They map the event when click, when change the data, or when insert the new child or remove the new child. They have a lot of event.